Watch us live stream at twitch.tv/Inez27. Live stream times are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Follow us on Twitter at SeemsGoodMagic. And please support my eBay store by going to SeemsGoodMagic.com, clicking on the icon, and purchasing some playsets and singles. Thanks, and enjoy the video. Hey, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here for another full block Return to Ravnica block draft. Let's see, we've got Master of Cruelties as our mythic rare. Also got a Steam Vince. And Turn and Burn. Some other good cards in here. Pick is really, I think, just probably Master of Cruelties. He can only attack alone, but he also is a first strike death touch defender. You know, at worst, but he hits once. They go to 1 life. I mean, Turn and Burn, arguably better since it's like full-on burn spell or just amazing trick. Deals with everything. Potential 2-for-1 trick. But I haven't gotten a chance to play with Master of Cruelties, and even though the funny thing is he can't even kill your opponent on his own, but since he offers so many stalemate positions, and the fact that if he hits once he takes him to 1, I think he's worth looking into. Okay, follow-up pick. My favorite 3-color combination is, of course, the Borzov, or Orzhov plus Rakdos and Boros. I think it just offers the best combination of creatures and burn spells. So I'm kind of tempted to pick the Tithe Drinker here and just start going down that path. Sinded Lawmage is a better card, but it's not on color at all with our Master of Cruelties. So I think we're just going to snatch up the Tithe Drinker and start focusing on some fixing when we see it. But I'm happy enough with the Tithe Drinker. He's good. Okay, now we can take the Vyashno First Blade. Yeah, nothing else super good in here besides that, but First Blade's certainly good. Just really have to keep an eye open for the right gates and prophetic prisms and stuff. You just really want to make sure that your mana's good, but otherwise you get access to the best creatures if you go down this path. Snare Squad's quite good. I probably just want the Maw of the Obsidian. Does a lot of work. Arguably better than the Hazda Snare Squad, I would say. Does some cool stuff. Anti-removal. Works well alongside Act of Treason type effects as well. So let's take the Maw. Okay, now we can do Maze Abomination, we can do Rakdos Cluestone. Maze Rusher looks good currently, but let's take the Maze Abomination because he also looks really good, and probably better. Okay, so this pack has a Moss Dog in it, which is pretty damn good. But I think we can pretty safely take the Morgue Burst or the Hired Torture, probably the Torture, and be fine. Really just want to pluck up all 3 of these colors. Well, Smelt Ward would be better if we can guarantee we get enough gates. But otherwise Steeple Rock is fine. So let's take the Rock. Woodlock Crawler, that card's really good. I think we're going to have to take the Cluestone here, get some good fixing going. Lee of Decree, also just fine. I mean, usually Riot Piker's fine. I'm not sure I like it that much in this deck. Am I going to play a second Cluestone? I'm not sure yet. It's possible. But I'm not likely to play the Piker unless we go Omega Aggro packs 2 and 3, which is possible. It's actually more likely, I guess, I end up playing the Piker than the Boros Cluestone. But usually when I go this 3-color combination, it's not hyper aggressive. It's just full of a lot of good value. But I guess let's take the Piker just in case we're aggressive enough to make it work. Here I guess we can take Wake, I guess, if we get some token production going. None of these really matter. Take a Lee of Decree just in case. Take a Maze Rusher. So we do have some good good on color spells right now in the 3 colors that we want to be. And pack 2 is where we really get to explore the Orzhov and the Boros, and then the pack 3 Return to Ravnica pack we get to clean up on some Rakdos cards. So usually this deck ends up with not enough fixing and a lot of good value, so I really do have to value gates and fixing fairly high, but the reason I'm not valuing the clue stones fairly high is I'd much rather have the gates or a prism. Okay, pack 2, pretty excellent pack all around, plenty of good cards. I think the pick for us is either the Boros Charm or the White of Precinct 6. And Boros Charm can be a trick, and it can also just finish the game, so I think we're just going to snipe up the Boros Charm. White is a lot better if you have either mill or a lot of removal, and we currently don't have either of those, so let's take the Boros Charm. Second pick, I think we're just going to go the Syndic here. Get some Extort. Fairly easy to cast. Good spell. Yes. Now we can do Burning Tree Emissary, which helps us get online. Currently only, I guess, a Riot Piker, so it's probably not that great. It's also Madcap Skills, which is good. Martial Glory, I think, is what I want, though. I want some more tricks with our creatures, because we just currently don't quite have enough. I'm not satisfied, so let's take the Martial Glory. Okay, Pit Fight, usually pretty strong, but it looks fairly weak in this pack. It's good with Master, it's decent with Maw, decent with Hired Torture, good with our late game, but our cheap creatures don't look that good with it. Also, there's Ember Beast, which is fine, but I think we're just going to take the Orzhov Guildgate. Let's get our fixing on for now. Let's make sure we get some. Like I said, this 3-color combination typically ends up with a good amount of powerful playables. It's just a matter of getting the right fixing for it. So let's take the Aerial Maneuver. Cool. Sky Knight Legionnaire here looks good. There's also Firefist Striker, which I have come to like quite a bit. I mean, Sky Knight Legionnaire is a little more difficult to cast, but it also is evasive, whereas Firefist Striker sometimes just lets you get by blockers. I guess Sky Knight gets you by blockers too, though. So maybe we just take the Sky Knight here. Firefist Striker a little bit easier to cast, though, which is a good argument. But we might be a little bit less black, more Boros. It really depends on the last pack is going to be the deciding factor. I think I'm actually going to take the Striker over the Legionnaire just for color purposes. They're both very good. Alright, here we'll take the Gutter Skulk. Seeing how deep black we go. Alright, Act of Treason looks good here for the Maw. It's also Smog Elemental, which is fine, but let's take the Act of Treason. Okay, table the Warmind Infantry. That's a good sign for red. Also table the Corpse Blockade, which is fine, but Warmind I think is going to be better. Alright, Mark for Death's actually a pretty playable card. It's not necessarily removal, but sometimes it really lets you get in on them, you know? Let's talk about cuts for now. Probably cutting the Hired Torture. Would prefer to not have to play it. I mean, I can, but would prefer to not play it. It's a pretty late Ivy Lane Denizen. Could take Guildscorn Ward for the sideboard, but let's hate the Ivy Lane. That card's real good. Alright, we'll take a Shadow Slice. Possible we play it. We've got a couple flyers, right? I guess we just have the Steeple Rock. Sideboard material here. 10th Street, we're not really going to play. Okay. So last pack here, hopefully clean up on some Rakdos, but can also find some good Azorius Flyers, other good stuff. Alright, Grave Betrayal's good, but not sure it's what we want. Spawn's pretty good. We already have quite a few 5-drops, though. I mean, I would totally play it. Explosive Impact also good. I feel like we're probably just going to first pick a Gate. Not the most exciting first pick, but once again, just want to make sure our fixing is okay. And, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I want to make sure our fixing's okay. Got to make sure our mana base is good. What the hell? Same rare and uncut. Alright, that is strange. Alright, we're definitely going to slam the Augur Spree here over the Sewer Shambler, Arrestor. Plenty of good cards we'd like to play, but let's take the good removal spell. Wow, Hypersonic. I'd like to be able to take it. I think we're probably going to take the Goblin Rally. It gets a bunch of creatures, which can be good for the Mark for Death. And we need some more creatures. Could also take the Sentry, which is fine, but not exciting. Goblin Rally can be good if you get like a Dynacharge or something. Otherwise it clumps up the board, which is good. Okay, I guess we can take this Sunspire Griffin. Looks like it's going to be pretty difficult to cast. I guess we take the Key Rune then. That helps us fix. I'd rather play it than the Clue Stone. And it's a good blocker. Okay, well, I guess we can take Dynacharge. Let's take the Security Blockade. I mean, Dynacharge is better with Goblin Rally, but we're short on creatures. And Security Blockade is definitely playable. We need to make sure we have like 15 creatures. Okay, I'd rather have the Sewer Shambler, I think, than the Cellar or the Eyes in the Skies. Both of which are good, but I like Scavenge quite a bit. Certainly not opposed to Eyes in the Skies. I guess not after passing double Lee of Sky Knight either. It's a good out against him. But Sewer Shambler is like the Landwalk, the Scavenge. I think it's just a little bit too much value wrapped up in one card. Gutter Snipe looks like it's actually pretty playable in here. What do we got? Decree, Aerial Maneuver, Boros Charm. Spells just keep coming, yeah. Let's do Gutter Snipe. Totally going to play that. I actually like Rage Mutt quite a bit. Can also do Long Legs, but I think getting double black is going to be a little more difficult. Let's take the Rage Mutt. Alright, get a Spawn as well. Spawn's fine. Plenty of 5-drops. I don't think we're playing the Shadow Slice, though. And probably not playing the Steeple Rock. Probably like these 5-drops more. And actually, with the Key Rune and the Clue Stone, I can pretty comfortably play these. Alright, got the Arrestor back, which is kind of sweet. Skullrend for sideboard. Not likely. Let's take Cremate, although that's not likely either. Would have liked a little more fixing, but 2 gates, a Clue Stone, and a Key Rune is going to be satisfactory, so no problems there. Do have to make a few cuts, but we'll get this figured out. We do have enough creatures now, so maybe we consider cutting the Goblin Rally, although it does work with the Gutter Snipe. Just don't know. I think we're cutting the Riot Piker. It doesn't look that exciting in this deck. Not a super exciting card in general. Maybe we're not playing the Lee of Decree. I'm not sure how aggressive we are yet. We have quite a few 5-drops. Resolve an Aerial Maneuver on a Master of Cruelties and you're looking pretty good. This can be good. So this is 25. Maybe we're not doing the Gutter Skulk. Definitely not doing that. Maybe we're not doing the Maze Rusher, but I kind of like having a couple 6-drops. Alright, well, let's put in our playables for now. 24, Cluestone, Key Rune, and Gates. Okay, so this is 26. Let's separate spells. You can see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to need the Leave Decree. Security Blockade's technically a creature, as is Goblin Rally. I can see Mark for Death actually being really good alongside Fire Fist Striker too. Or even like Azorius Arrestor if you have the mana for it, 6 mana or something. Not too shabby. Alright, let's cut the Leave Decree. Let's cut maybe a 5-drop. Currently 7 spells for Gutter Snipe. Prefer to not cut one of those, but that's okay. I think we can. Can also just cut the Maze Rusher. Maybe we don't need the Mark for Death main deck. We can sideboard into it. I don't mind having all these 5-drops, honestly, with the Key Rune and the Cluestone. But I like all of our spells. We have good tricks and removal. Good amount of creatures. I guess we can cut a Goblin Rally. It's double red. Got enough going on in our 5 and 6 drop slots. We probably don't need it. Maze Rusher is actually really good with the Spawn and the Master of Cruelty's Surprise. Even Maw can be good. But this is a satisfactory 23 card deck. Good amount of creatures, 16 with the Security Blockade. Fixing's a little bit rough, but we'll get it figured out. We got 2 gates and Key Rune and Cluestone. Pretty even split. I think we're just going to try and even up the mana as best we can, because we do need everything. So, let's see. 2 black sources already, so this is 6 black sources, 6 red sources, or 7 red sources, 6 white sources. What do we want the most of? We do want the most red. So 7 red sources, 6 black sources, 6 white sources, but then 7 if you count the Cluestone, 7 white sources, and then 7 black sources and 8 red sources. Yeah, I think that's actually okay. Not the best mana base, but like I said, satisfactory. Got some good spells in here. This deck could win, definitely. All right, well, I'll see you round 1.